Okay, so we will start with the standard 3A, duties to clients, loyalty, prudence, care. Okay, so here what we will discuss about the guidance. Okay, actually, I think we discussed about the guidance yesterday, so today we will not be discussing that. Let me check one more time whether we discussed it or not. Give me a second. So I think, yeah, we discussed this. Okay, so now we will going to start with recommended procedures of the standard 3A. Okay, recommended procedures of standard 3A. Okay, so what are the procedures to prevent the violation? Regular account information. Members and candidates with control of assets. Members and candidates with control of assets should submit to each client at least quarterly. So quarterly हमें submit करना होगा an itemized statement showing the funds and securities in the custody or possession of member and candidate plus all debit credits transactions that occurred during the period. Okay, should disclose to client where the assets are maintained and as well as where or when they are moved. Should separate the client assets from any other party's assets. Okay, so it should be separated. It should be, if it is moved, then it should be noted down and informed, including the members or the candidates assets. Okay, so this talks about, first is submit a client information क्वार्टरली आइटम स्टेटमेंट, जिसके अंदर हमारा फंड सिक्योरिटीज़ के बारे में, जो पोजीशन में कस्टडी में है उसके बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन होगा. ठीक है, तो ये सब चीज़ें हमें बतानी होंगी. ठीक है, देन वी मूव टू क्लाइंट. ओके, सेकंड पॉइंट इसका ये है कि डिस्क्लोज करो क्लाइंट को. ठीक है, वेयर एसेट्स आर मेंटेन्ड एज वेल एज वेयर, कहाँ पे एसेट्स मेंटेन्ड है और कहाँ पे दे आर मूव्ड. ठीक है, एंड शुड सेपरेट क्लाइंट एसेट्स फ्रॉम अदर पार्टी एसेट्स इंक्लूडिंग मेंबर्स एंड कैंडिडेट्स. ठीक है, नाउ क्लाइंट अप्रूवल की बात आती है. ठीक है, सेकंड पॉइंट, इफ़ अ मेंबर कैंडिडेट is uncertain about appropriate course of action with respect to client, the member candidate should consider what he or she would expect or demand if member candidate were client. ठीक है, appropriate course of action क्या होना चाहिए उसके बारे में अगर अनसर्टन है, देन मेंबर कैंडिडेट को ऐसे सोचना चाहिए जैसे कि वो खुद ही क्लाइंट है, खुद के एसेट्स हैं. तो तब क्या करना चाहिए? ठीक है, इफ़ इन डाउट मेंबर कैंडिडेट शुड डिस्क्लोज क्वेश्चनेबल मैटर इन राइटिंग टू क्लाइंट एंड ऑब्टेन क्लाइंट अप्रूवल. कभी भी अगर डाउट है तो क्लाइंट को आप इन्फॉर्म करो, डिस्क्लोज करो और क्लाइंट से आप पूछो कि करना क्या चाहिए. ठीक है, आगे मूव करते हैं. देन वी हैव दिस 1 मिनट. देन वी हैव फर्म पॉलिसीज. ओके, सो फर्म पॉलिसीज क्या कहती हैं? मेंबर एंड कैंडिडेट्स शुड एड्रेस एंड encourage their firms to address the following topics when drafting the statement or manuals containing their policies, procedure regarding the responsibilities to clients. Follow all applicable rules and laws. सारे rules and laws को follow करो. Establish investment objectives of the client. Consider all information when taking action. ठीक है, so member candidates को लीगल रिक्वायरमेंट सारी फॉलो करनी है. एप्लीकेबल प्रोविजंस जो कोड में दे रखे हैं उसको फॉलो करना है. ठीक है, इस्टेब्लिश द इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ द क्लाइंट. सो क्लाइंट के इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑब्जेक्टिव्स के हैं, जैसे कि बच्चों की शादी या फिर रिटायरमेंट या फिर एजुकेशन हो गया, एजुकेशन ऑफ चिल्ड्रन. ठीक है, तो ये हमारे ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं. सो ये जो है इनको इस्टेब्लिश करो. So make a reasonable inquiry about clients' investment experience, risk, return, objectives. financial constraints prior to making investment recommendation or taking investment action. ठीक है, then we move to consider all information when taking actions. ठीक है, when taking investment action, member and candidate must consider the appropriateness and suitability of investment. क्या इन्वेस्टमेंट अप्रोप्रिएट है क्लाइंट के लिए, क्या इन्वेस्टमेंट सूटेबल है एक कस्टमर या क्लाइंट के लिए. ठीक है, ये सब चीज़ें हमें अप्रोप्रिएटनेस और सूटेबिलिटी को देखना है. क्लाइंट की क्या नीड्स हैं, सर्कमस्टांसेस क्लाइंट की क्या हैं, उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए the investment's basic characteristics and the basic characteristics of total portfolio. So total portfolio भी कुछ क्लाइंट आपको कुछ बताएंगे, कुछ नहीं बताएंगे. तो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ करेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ टोटल पोर्टफोलियो में ध्यान रखते हुए हमें काम करना है. इन्वेस्टमेंट बेसिक करेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या है वो भी हमें ध्यान में रखने हैं. ठीक है, फिर हम आगे आते हैं डाइवर्सिफाई पे आते हैं. सो डाइवर्सिफाई में क्या होगा, मेंबर कैंडिडेट शुड डाइवर्सिफाई इन्वेस्टमेंट्स. ठीक है, तो जो भी इन्वेस्टमेंट्स हैं उनको आप डाइवर्सिफाई करो, चाहे वो इक्विटी हो या फिर वो बॉन्ड हो, चाहे वो एआई हो या फिर वो डेरिवेटिव्स हो. तो इसके अंदर आपको अपना डाइवर्सिफाई करना है. तो उसका ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, क्यों डाइवर्सिफाई करना है, क्योंकि रिस्क को रिड्यूस करना है. रिड्यूस द रिस्क ऑफ लॉस unless diversification is not consistent with the plain guidelines and or is contrary to account objectives. ठीक है, next is carry out regular reviews. So carry out regular reviews, इसके अंदर member candidates, जो भी member और candidates हैं उनको एक establish करना है regular review schedules. ठीक है, तो review करना है. So एक review policy आप बना लो to ensure that investment held in account adhere to terms ऑफ द गवर्निंग डॉक्यूमेंट्स. ठीक है, तो प्रॉपर्ली रिव्यू करना भी ज़रूरी है. देन वी मूव टू डील फेयरली विद ऑल क्लाइंट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू इन्वेस्टमेंट एक्शंस. सो फेयरली सबके साथ डील करना बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है, मेंबर्स और कैंडिडेट मस्ट नॉट फेवर सम क्लाइंट. किसी एक क्लाइंट को आप फेवर नहीं कर सकते दूसरे क्लाइंट से. सो ये जो है आपका गलत हो जाएगा. ठीक है, over others and should establish policies for allocating trades, disseminating investment recommendations. So trade allocation policies होनी चाहिए. trade allocation policy होना चाहिए. pro rata basis पे करते हैं या suitability को देखते हुए करते हैं. ठीक है, then हम क्या करते हैं, then we have disclose compensation arrangements. कहीं से भी आपको पैसा मिल रहा है, कंपनसेशन मिल रहा है, ठीक है, क्लाइंट का पैसा लगाने से. ठीक है, तो वो आपको डिस्क्लोज करना है. शुड मेक देयर क्लाइंट्स अवेयर ऑफ एनी फॉर्म्स ऑफ मैनेजर कंपनसेशन. ठीक है, मैनेजर को जो पैसा मिलता है चाहे वो 1 लाख रुपए पर मंथ है या आई मीन जो भी कंपनसेशन है वो भी डिस्क्लोज करना है. ठीक है, वोट प्रॉक्सीज, तो आपको पता होगा कि यू हैव टू वोट इन बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट ऑफ क्लाइंट्स, प्रोस्पेक्टिव क्लाइंट, अल्टीमेट बेनिफिशरी. जैसे अल्टीमेट बेनिफिशरी की जब भी बात होगी इसका मतलब ये है कि या तो ट्रस्ट है या फिर ये पेंशन फंड है. ठीक है, सो उनका ध्यान में रखते हुए हमें वोटिंग करनी है. ठीक है, वोट शेयर्स, who is authorized to vote shares and vote proxies in the best interest of clients and end clients or ultimate customers, ultimate beneficiaries. ठीक है, then we move to confidentiality. कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी में क्या है, क्लाइंट कस्टमर्स का जो कॉन्फिडेंशियल डेटा है वो संभाल के रखना है. बिकॉज क्लाइंट बहुत सारी चीज़ें आपको बताएंगे जो कि अपने वेल्थ के बारे में बताएंगे कि अलग अलग कहाँ पे उनकी वेल्थ है, वो क्या क्या चीज़ें खरीद के रखा है, मतलब क्या क्या चीज़ें हैं. तो ये कॉन्फिडेंशियल है डेटा जो आपको किसी को बताना नहीं है. सो ये मेंटेन करके रखो आप, कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी ऑफ क्लाइंट डेटा. बेस्ट एग्जीक्यूशन, सो एग्जीक्यूशन क्या है, मतलब आपने एक बाय ऑर्डर डाला. ठीक है, सो जो बाय ऑर्डर डाला उसका बेस्ट एग्जीक्यूशन कहाँ से मिलेगा वो हमें ध्यान रखना है. बेस्ट एग्जीक्यूशन फॉर क्लाइंट, सो दैट उनको कम से कम पैसों में ट्रेडिंग हो सके। Unless directed by client as ultimate beneficiary, member can must seek best execution for their clients. Place client interest first. सबसे पहले तो client है, client ही सबसे important है आज की डेट। क्लाइंट को पहले ध्यान में रखो, ठीक है। मस्ट सर्व द बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द क्लाइंट, ठीक है। अच्छा, हम आगे बढ़ते हैं। नाउ वी मूव टू द एग्जाम्पल्स पार्ट। नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस द एग्जाम्पल्स, ठीक है। देयर आर टोटल 11 एग्जाम्पल्स और इसको हम एक एक करके सारे एग्जाम्पल्स पढ़ेंगे, ठीक है, और रिव्यू करेंगे, क्योंकि बड़े सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं जो हमारे एग्जाम्पल्स की फॉर्म में आते हैं, ठीक है। सो let's read the examples, ठीक है। so let's start. फर्स्ट कंट्री बैंक सर्व्स एज, सो ये एक फर्स्ट कंट्री बैंक है। गिव मी अ सेकेंड। या सो फर्स्ट कंट्री बैंक सर्व्स एज ट्रस्टी, ये ट्रस्टी है फर्स्ट कंट्री बैंक फॉर द मिलर कंपनी, मिलर कंपनीज पेंशन प्लान। सो ये एक पेंशन प्लान है। पेंशन प्लान में एंड बेनिफिशियरी कौन है? जो कि पेंशन रिसीव कर रहा है वो एंड बेनिफिशियरी है, ठीक है। और फर्स्ट कंट्री इज जस्ट अ ट्रस्टी। तो मिलर इज द टारगेट ऑफ होस्टल टेक ओवर, ठीक है। होस्टल टेक ओवर अटेम्प्ट बाय न्यूटन करके कोई कंपनी है, वो इसको टेक ओवर करना चाहती है। इन अटेम्प्टिंग टू वार्ड ऑफ न्यूटन, मिलर मैनेजर्स परस्यूड Julian Billy, an investment manager at First Central Bank, to purchase Miller common stock in open market. तो उन्होंने क्या करा, बिली को लेके आए और उसको बोला कि आप मिलर के कॉमन स्टॉक खरीदो ओपन मार्केट से फॉर एम्प्लॉय पेंशन प्लान। Miller officials indicate that such action would be favorably received and would probably result in other accounts being placed with the man. Although Healy believes the stock is overvalued and would not ordinarily buy it, he purchases stock to support Miller's managers. To maintain Miller's good favor toward the bank and to realize additional new business. तो इसके अंदर हमें पहले ये समझना पड़ेगा कि जो मिलर ने करा क्या वो वायलेशन है या नहीं है। थोड़ा सा मैं आपको टाइम देता हूँ, 1 मिनट का, सोचिए, दोबारा से पढ़िए। तो देखियो, आपको इसके अंदर ये समझना है कि मैं डिस्कस करता हूँ कि उसने ये बोला कि एक गुड फेवर और एक रिलेशनशिप बनाए रखेंगे और एक न्यू बिजनेस मिलता रहेगा, तो इसलिए उसने बोला कि ठीक है हम कर लेते हैं, अपना बिजनेस कर लेते हैं, ठीक है, और इससे हमें वो भी मिलेगी, इनकम भी मिलती रहेगी, बिजनेस मिलता रहेगा, तो इसलिए उसने कर लिया। तो मेरे हिसाब से मैं क्या समझता हूँ कि ये सही नहीं है, मतलब ठीक है, मुझे ऐसा लगता है, मैं श्योर नहीं हूँ, हो सकता है ये गलत भी हो सकता हूँ मैं, बट इट्स नॉट राइट थिंग टू डू। ओके, सो लेट्स रीड। स्टैंडर्ड 3A रिक्वायर्स दैट मेंबर कैंडिडेट जो भी है in evaluating taker bid act prudently solely in interest of plan participants and beneficiary। अगर टेक ओवर बिड कोई है तो उसको solely prudently and solely in the interest of plan participant and beneficiary. To meet this requirement, a member candidate must carefully evaluate the long-term prospects of the company. Must evaluate long-term prospects of the company against the short-term prospects presented in the takeover offer by the ability to invest elsewhere. In this instance, Wheeler, acting on behalf of his employer, which was trustee for pension plan, clearly violated. So basically, he should think of beneficiaries first, क्योंकि वो लोग हैं जो क्लाइंट हैं, एंड क्लाइंट, ठीक है, उनका ध्यान में रखते हुए हमें ये काम करना होगा, ठीक है, सो उनका ध्यान रखना है, ठीक है। सो ये पहला एग्जांपल हो गया। He used pension plan to perpetuate existing management, perhaps to detriment the detriment of plan participants and the company's plan shareholders, and to benefit himself. Wheeler's responsibilities to the plan participants and beneficiaries should have taken precedence over any ties of bank. Wheeler had a duty to examine the takeover offer. The guiding principle is the appropriate of the investment. सो इंडिपेंडेंट डिसीजन लेना है आपको, ट्रस्टी के हिसाब से नहीं चलना, ठीक है। चलो, we will move to the example number 2. JNI, successful investment counseling firm, serves as an investment manager for pension plans of several large regionally based companies. Its trading activities generate a significant amount of commission related business. जो भी ट्रेडिंग एक्टिविटी है, its trading activities generate a significant amount of commission related business. ट्रेडिंग एक्टिविटीज जो भी है generate significant amount of commission related business. JNI uses the brokerage and research services of many firms. But most of its trading activity is handled through a large brokerage company, Thomson. Because the executives of the two firms have close relationship, Thomson commission structure is high in comparison with JNC. So this is a violation over here. to others. Thomson Research Services and execution capabilities average in exchange for GNI direct brokerage to Thomson. Thomson absorbs large number of GNI overhead. So GNI जो है executives are breaching their responsibility by using client brokerage for services that do not benefit GNI clients and not obtaining best price and execution for their clients. GNI executives are not upholding their duty of loyalty and are violating the standard 3. ठीक है, क्योंकि साफ है यहाँ पे क्लाइंट के जो ब्रोकरेज है उसको आप यूज़ कर रहे हो अपने बेनिफिट के लिए, पर्सनल बेनिफिट ना, वो उससे GNI क्लाइंट्स को तो बेनिफिट नहीं हो रहा. सो ना ही बेस्ट एग्जीक्यूशन मिल रही है, पैसे भी दे रहे हो, बेस्ट एग्जीक्यूशन भी मिल रही. ठीक है, क्योंकि मार्केट में बेस्ट एग्जीक्यूशन अवेलेबल है लेकिन आप नहीं ले रहे. ठीक है, तो इसलिए ये एक हमारा वो है वायलेशन. Now we move to example number 3. Charlotte Everett, struggling independent investment advisor, serves as an investment manager of pension plans of several companies. ठीक है, ये भी वैसी है. One of her broker Scott company is closing to consummating management agreements with prospective new clients, whereby Everett would manage the new client accounts and trade the accounts exclusively through Scott. One of the Everett's existing clients, Creighton Corporation, has directed Everett to place security transactions for Creighton's account exclusively through Scott. But to induce Scott to exert efforts to send more new accounts to her, Everett also directs transactions to Scott from other clients without their knowledge. This is a violation. Everett has an obligation at all times to seek best price and best execution on all trades. Everett may direct new client trade exclusively through Scott company. में मतलब कर सकता है वो, लेकिन as long as Everett receive best price and execution on the trades and receive written statement from new clients that she is not to seek the best price execution that they are aware of. Everett may trade other accounts through Scott as a reward for directing clients to Everett only if accounts receive best price. Okay. Please read this one more time. ये वाला पार्ट ना दोबारा पढ़ना पड़ेगा क्योंकि इट्स नॉट ईजी दिस पार्ट. Okay, so see, Everett has an obligation at all times seek best execution trade. Everett may direct new client trade exclusively through Scott company as long as अगर वो बेस्ट एग्जीक्यूशन और बेस्ट प्राइस मिल रहा है तो ठीक है. On trades or receives a written statement from new client that she is not she's not to seek best price execution, and that they are aware of the consequence of their client accounts. Everett may trade other accounts through Scott as a reward for directing clients to Everett only if accounts receive best execution and trades, and the practice is disclosed to clients. Because Everett does not disclose the directed trading, Everett has violated. Okay. ठीक है, या तो उसने बता दिया होता, या तो उसने ये बता दिया था कि receives a written statement for that she is not to seek the best price execution and they are aware of the consequence of their accounts. ठीक है, तो ठीक था, लेकिन उसने बताया नहीं इसके बारे में. Okay, now we move to example number 4. So over here what we are going to discuss, so there is a person Rome, trust officer for Paget, ठीक है, ट्रस्ट कंपनी. सो ये ब्रोकरेज अरेंजमेंट्स के ऊपर है. सो रोम का जो सुपरवाइजर इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर रिव्यूइंग रोम्स ट्रस्ट अकाउंट ट्रांजेक्शन एंड हर मंथली रिपोर्ट्स ऑफ पर्सनल स्टॉक ट्रांजेक्शंस. रोम हैज़ बीन यूजिंग नाथन ग्रे, अ ब्रोकर, एक नाथन ग्रे करके ब्रोकर है, ऑलमोस्ट एक्सक्लूसिवली फॉर trust account brokerage transaction. When Gray makes a market in stocks, he has been giving Rome a lower price for personal purchases and higher price for sales than he gives to Rome's trust accounts and other accounts. Clear violation यार, आप अपने पर्सनल अकाउंट में मजे ले रहे हो, गलत बात है ना. Is violating her duty of loyalty to banks' trust accounts using Gray for brokerage transactions simply because Gray trades Rome's personal account on favorable terms and Rome is placing her own interest before client. ठीक है, let's move to the another client. 1 minute. Now we move to example number 5. So Parker जो है वो पार्कर कौन है? प्रोवो एडवाइजर. कवर साउथ अमेरिकन इक्विटीज फॉर हर फर्म. इसमें क्या है, क्लाइंट कमीशन प्रैक्टिसेस. ठीक है, she likes to travel to the markets for which she is responsible and decides to go on trip to Chile, Argentina, Brazil. The trip is sponsored by South AM. So South AM is Inc. South AM, a research firm with small broker and dealer affiliate that uses the clearing facilities of larger New York brokerage house. South AM specializes in arranging South American trips for analysts during which they can meet with central bank officials. Government ministers, local economists, senior executives of corporations. South AM accepts commission dollars at a ratio of 2:1 against the hard dollar. This is a commission and against the hard dollar cost of the research fee for the trip. ठीक है, Parker is not sure that South AM's execution is competitive, but without informing her supervisor, she directs the trading desk at Provo to start giving commission business to South AM so she can take trip. Violation. South AM has conveniently timed the briefing trip to coincide with the beginning of carnival season. So Parker also decides to spend 5 days of vacation in Rio de Janeiro. At the end of the trip, Parker uses commission dollars to pay for the 5 days of the कमीशन को गलत तरीके से इस्तेमाल करने का जो ये धंधा है, ये वायलेशन है. Parker is violating. So what Parker is doing? Parker is violating standard 3A by not exercising her duty of loyalty to her client. She should have determined whether the commission charged by South AM are reasonable in relation to benefit of the research provided by the trip. She also should have determined whether the best execution and prices could be received from South AM. In addition, the 5 extra days are not part of research effort because they do not assist in investment decision making. Thus, the hotel expenses for the 5 days should not be paid for or with client assets. जो होटल एक्सपेंसेस हैं वो 5 days के should not be paid for client assets. Okay. Let's move to example number 6. NOS manages the portfolios of number of high net worth individuals, HNI clients. A major part of her investment management fee is based on trading commissions. So management fee का major part है trading commission से. NOS engages in extensive trading for each of her clients to ensure that she attains a minimum commission level set by her firm. Although the securities purchased and sold for clients are appropriate and fall within the acceptable asset classes for clients, amount of trading for each account exceed what is necessary to accomplish the client investment objectives. तो violation है. जो investment objectives हैं client के, अगर आप वो पूरे वो मतलब वो है नहीं ना, so has violated because she is using the assets of her clients to benefit her firm and herself. Because ये important है, she is using assets for her clients to benefit her firm and herself. ठीक है. Now we will move to example number 7. Dill recently joined new investment asset managers. To assess Dill in building a book of clients, both his father and brother opened new fee-paying accounts. अच्छा, मतलब कि उसके पापा ने और उसके भाई ने न्यू फी पेइंग अकाउंट्स इसके साथ न्यू इन्वेस्टमेंट मैनेजर्स के साथ खोले. Dill followed all the firm's procedures in noting his relationship with these clients and in developing their investments policy statement. After several years, the number of Dill's clients has grown. But still manages the original accounts of family members. An IPO is coming to market that is suitable investment for many of his clients, including his brother. Dill does not receive the amount of stock he has requested. So to avoid any appearance of conflict, he does not allocate any shares to his brother's account. Dill has violated the 3A because he is not acting for the benefit of brother's account as well as his other account. The brother's account is a regular fee-paying account comparable to the client account. By not allocating the shares proportionally across all accounts for which he thought the IPO was suitable. Dell is disadvantaging specific lines. Dell is disadvantaging specific line. Dell would have been correct in not allocating shares to his brothers. Would have been correct in not allocating shares to his brother account if that account was being managed outside the normal fee structure. Can you read this again? Till in building book of client, both his father and mother open teaching, then followed all firms present noting his relation with these clients and in developing their investment policy statements. Several years, number of Dill's clients has grown, but he still manages the original accounts of his family members. An IPO is coming to market and that is suitable investment for many of his clients, including his brother. Till does not receive amount of stock he requested, so to avoid any appearance of conflict of interest, he does not allocate any shares to his brother. Okay, is not acting for the benefit of brothers. Is not act is Dill has violated standard 3A because he is not acting for the benefit of his brother's account as well as his other accounts. The brother's account is regular fee paying account comparable to the accounts of his other accounts. Okay? By not allocating the shares a proportionality across all accounts for which he thought the IPO was suitable, Dill is a disadvantage in specific accounts. Dill would have been correct in not allocating shares to his brother's account if the account was being managed outside the normal fee structure of the firm. Okay. Now, example 8. Example 8, identifying the client. Hensley has been hired by law firm to testify as an expert witness. Although the testimony is intended to represent impartial advice, she is concerned that her work may have negative consequences for the law firm if the law firm is Hensley's client. How does she ensure that her testimony will not violate the required duty, prudence, and care to one's account? Hensley's client, how if the law firm is Hensley's client? If the law firm is Hensley's client, how does she ensure that her testimony will not violate the required duty of loyalty, prudence? In this situation, the law firm represents Hensley's employer and aspects of who is the client is not well defined. When acting as an expert witness, Hensley is bound by standard of independence and objectivity in the same manner as independent research analysis would be bound. Hensley must not let the law firm influence the testimony she provides in legal proceedings. Example 9. Miller is a mutual fund portfolio manager. The fund is focused on global financial service sector. Spears is a private wealth manager. Spears is a private wealth manager. He is a mutual fund manager. He is a private wealth manager in same city as Miller and is a friend of Miller. So Spears and Miller are friends. At a local CFA Institute Society meeting, Spears mentions to Miller that her new client is investor in Miller's fund. Miller that her new client So Spears tell Miller that उसका एक नया client बना है which is also a investor in Miller's fund. She states that two of them now share responsibility to this client. Okay, so this is an important question. Now share a responsibility to this client. So I don't think so. इसमें कुछ वाले इसमें है violations तो. Spears' statement is totally correct because she provides advisory services to her new client. She alone is bound by the duty of loyalty to his client. Miller's responsibility. Miller is a mutual fund portfolio manager and he is a private wealth manager. Okay, ये फर्क है. So Miller's responsibility is to manage the fund according to the investment policy statement of the fund. So ये वाला part important है. Miller's responsibility is to manage the fund according to investment policy statement of the fund. His action should not be influenced by the needs of any particular fund investor. Because इसके अंदर issue ये है कि जो मिलर है और ये स्पीयर्स है. मिलर स्पीयर ठीक है. मिलर म्यूचुअल फंड, दिस इज एमएफ और दिस इज पीडी प्राइवेट. Miller actions should not be influenced by the needs of any particular fund investor. Okay, ठीक है. Client loyalty. Client loyalty. After providing client account investment performance to external facing department, but prior to its being finalized for release to clients, there's given an investment performance analyst notices the reporting system missed a trade. Reporting system missed a trade. Correcting the omission resulted in large loss for a client that had previously placed the firm on watch for potential termination on to underperform. Gwen knows his news is unpleasant but informs the appropriate individuals that Gwen knows this news is unpleasant but informs the appropriate individuals that the report needs to be updated before releasing. But informs the appropriate individuals that the report needs to be updated before releasing it to client. Since aligns with the requirements of standard. Suleiman recently became a candidate in CFA program. This broker who executes client directed trades for several high net worth individuals. Suleiman does not provide any investment advice and only executes the trading decision made by client. He is concerned by the code and impose fiduciary duty on him in his dealing with clients and sends an email to CFA ethics help desk to seek out down. Suleiman serves in an execution only capacity. Suleiman serves in an execution only capacity. Suleiman serves in execution only capacity. His duty of loyalty, prudence, care is centered on skill and diligence used when executing, namely by seeking best execution. लिखना पड़ेगा ये। सुलेमान हाँ